Herman Orpineda making the walk tonight, kicking off Fury Challenger Series 11. Flyweight fighter, hailing from Chihuahua, Mexico. Got a lot of experience on his opponent as he enters the 10th fight of his professional career. And exciting to say the least. He's a finisher of his 3 wins. 2 of them come by way of knockout. We'll see if he can put some hands on display here tonight.
Yeah, he made a lot of fans in his debut. Came in as a big underdog, but man, just put on the performance of a lifetime. I didn't know much about him in his Fury debut, but man, he really showed up, shined, and just made it a dog fight. And I know he made a lot of fans here in Houston. I was looking forward to seeing him fight again, and he is our opening pro bout on this all-pro card. Can't be more excited.
They call him El Macho. He's got some swagger to him. And, you know, you mentioned the underdog factor, Alex. I think that can be liberating for some fighters at times. You know, not a lot of pressure on you going to, hostile territory. You have no other choice but then to, show out and try to put on a show when everyone's cheering against you.
Yeah, you got little to lose and everything to win. As a fighter, I actually prefer being the dog because, like you said, TJ, there is a little bit less pressure, especially when you're already in enemy territory. You can go in there, you can have some fun, and really try to put on a show.
All the way from Chihuahua, Mexico, Herman Orpineda takes the Fury FC cage here tonight in Houston.
Please welcome to the red corner, Alex Delacruz.
Alex Delacruz making the walk, 2-1 as a pro. He too has power as both of his professional wins come by way of knockout. Last saw him inside the Fury FC cage when he defeated Jean Patrick. We'll see what he can do here tonight. This is the first time he's coming back, Cody, after his first defeat in which he lost by knockout. Always interesting to see how an athlete responds coming back after being stopped by strikes.
Yeah, had a very successful career all the way through the amateur ranks, was undefeated there, had a lot of that same success into his pro career before finally dropping that one fight. You have to imagine he's going to have a lot more fire, a lot more determination to get in here and get that win. So I'm sure we're going to see a very motivated Delacruz here.
Saw the tail of the tape there. Delacruz, a little bit taller, has a 2-inch reach advantage. We'll see if he calls upon that as both of these men fancy themselves strikers. All right, flyweights are inside the Fury cage. As our first fight of the night is about to get ready, we go to Wayne Leggett for our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening preliminary contest brought to you by OnlyFans is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 124.6 pounds. Fighting out of Chihuahua, Mexico. Today, he looks for his 4th win as a pro. Here is Herman El Macho Orpineda. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he weighed in at a perfect 125 pounds. Fighting out of Yonkers, New York, he holds a professional record of 2 wins, only 1 defeat. Here is Alex, the Boss, Delacruz. Your referee in charge of the action, Jeff Rexroad.
Jeff Rexroad getting this assignment. Again, flyweights inside the Fury FC cage. TJ DeSantis, Cody Owens, Alex Morono. Appreciate you joining us here live for Fury Challenger Series 11.
Yeah, happy to be here. I was curious if there were odds on this fight going the distance or not. It's got to be favorited to finish. I mean, you see Herman coming out with some big shots, forcing Delacruz to shoot, but he's caught in a guillotine. He's got to not let him go to close guard.
Really committing on this choke attempt.
This is more dangerous than it may look. As fully under.
Is it wise for him to try to still stand like this, Alex, to get him?
He was trying to shake him off the top there, and it looks like he was able to do so.
Now inside the closed guard.
Herman's looking for the angle for that arm bar, but you see Delacruz really pinning his head on the cage. Really trying to kill the potential articulation of the hips there. I mean, that's pretty classic armbar defense. Notice Delacruz has that wrist ride on that
wrist
bottom
ride
arm.
you like so much, Alex. Yes, sir.
His hips got to be a little more centered so he doesn't get rolled. He did a good job kind of resettling there.
Short little left hands here by Delacruz. We'll see if Orpineda can try to induce a scramble with that fence.
Yeah, high hips here from Delacruz, looking to get the pass, but Orpineda able to get that guard locked up.
It's interesting how the top positional fighter here can utilize that fence sometimes. Often the bottom man will try to use it to wall walk, but it can be used as a weapon. Now we're going to get a interesting scramble here. Back to the feet maybe?
Yeah, Delacruz looking to pass around the guard there. Orpineda using the cage to wall walk and find himself back to his feet. Now reversing the position.
Yeah, I was going to say, Delacruz had to clear that right leg. He left in between, and he just didn't have the leverage. Orpineda's looking for this seated head and arm choke, but decides to just throw punches as they break.
Yeah, coming alive with some hands here is the Mexican fighter. Delacruz forced to cover up.
This is why we like Herman. This is what he did in his debut. And it didn't stop. He did it for 2.5 rounds.
Thought he might have been hurt there. I think he slipped. Elects to go to his back here. Orpineda going to work here from top position.
Yeah, neither of these guys has won by decision ever. You know, between the two of them, 5 wins, 5 finishes. And you guys can probably see why Herman has, 3 wins, 3 finishes. He just doesn't focus on pacing or rounds. He just tries to get the finish. It's bold, but man, is it fun.
Alex did his homework. That's why he said the odds on this one going the distance aren't great.
No, they're not.
Just past the halfway point here of round number 1. Inside the guard here is Herman Orpineda.
Short little shots, just looking to soften him up. Got to look to try to pass this guard, though, if he wants to get any type of significant submission attempt.
That was a nice little underhook into that dogfight single leg position here, but he can't sit here. I tell my guys, if you wrestle up, you cannot sit in this bottom front headlock position. In jiu-jitsu, you get your back taken, you get front choked. In MMA, you get elbowed and beat up. Standing up was the play there for Delacruz. Nice angle. That was beautiful.
Little cutback double leg there. That was beautiful.
A lot of heart there on display from Delacruz, who was getting it put on him for a little while there on bottom, but now finds himself in top position once again.
He was looking for a Von Flue choke as Delacruz.
Yeah, this hand is stuck in here as well. I mean, very dangerous spot.
It's deep, but he's got to try to clear that left leg. It can be finished from here, but he uses it to go to mount. Very intelligent.
Delacruz in business. 90 seconds left here in this opening round. See if he elects to posture up here and try to rain down some punishment.
Yeah, just as you say so there, TJ does so. Orpineda striking from the bottom, not necessarily what you want to see there. You want to see some framing on the hips, creating space. Got his arm trapped in a pretty bad spot now. Going to get his back taken.
Oh, man, he's got that underhook trapped, and he's caught in a wrist ride, but he's out of it.
Oh wow.
That was just some hard-nosed scrambling there from Orpineda. Delacruz is in on almost like a K-guard, looking for that outside Ashi entry from the knee shield, but he didn't have great leg connection.
Man, these flyweights are putting on a fight here to kick off our night here at Fury Challengers.
They may have forgotten they have a 2nd and 3rd round coming up, because this pace is wild.
Scramble again.
Oh, nice
Good
knee
there.
Nice timing of the knee by Delacruz, making sure it wasn't an illegal blow. Now Orpineda in on a takedown. I mean, this is a matchup of almost anything you can do, I can do better. Just exchanging positions.
Tit for tat for sure.
Honestly, it's not an easy round to call either.
Final 10 seconds here. We'll see if Orpineda can do something to solidify the round.
Finishing on top, could be the kind of the combo breaker here to maybe steal the round. I'm glad I'm not a judge.
Right.
That round was even.
It had a lot, going on in that 5 minutes, and you bring up a good point. Finishing on top, what happens later in the round tends to stick with the judges a lot more. Granted, Orpineda didn't land a lot to finish the round, but he did land a lot here on the feet.
Yeah, he opened this round, Orpineda did, by effectively rocking Delacruz. I mean, if the groundwork was called even, which they both had their moments, then Orpineda definitely did the damage on the feet.
You got to love flyweights. They always bring it, and these two athletes are definitely doing that to kick off our night here in Houston.
Yeah, if this is any indication of what we have in store for the rest of these fights, I am very excited to see what we're going to be able to watch this afternoon.
Yeah, a fun throwback to classic Houston MMA. This is an all-pro card opposed to being a pro-am. And back in the day, pro-ams were not allowed. It was either all-amateur or all-pro. It's nice we're getting kind of a throwback on an all-pro card. And man, most of these guys booked tonight are strikers. It's gonna be a fun night, gentlemen.
All right, second round about to get underway. Herman Orpineda in the black with the Mexican flag in the front. Oh, beautiful kick to that lead leg of Delacruz.
Yeah.
Delacruz took a second down there in the low squat.
There's some nerves that run in the side and the back of the leg there, and you see it happen all the time where people get kicked there and they get that drop foot, or it essentially kills that portion of the leg. It seems to have kind of flashed the bottom part of the leg there of Delacruz.
Again with that kick to the lead leg, on point for Orpineda.
Herman put all of his attributes into offense. Because, man, he throws everything with such power.
Clash there. Right back to that inside leg kick.
Usually that inside kick is to find range, but, man, he's throwing it to do damage.
And no attempt to check either from Delacruz so far. See if those potentially add up if this fight goes any longer.
And what's wild about Herman is he doesn't really fade. Like, that first round was as high a pace as you can, hope to fight in, and he looks super fresh. Whereas Delacruz looks like he's wearing that pace a bit more. Taking some time to find his footing. Delacruz does seem to be getting more comfortable, stalking forward a bit more.
In the clinch now goes Delacruz. You got to think he's happy to close that space so he doesn't get kicked in that lead leg anymore.
Yeah, working from this clinch position, got the body lock, looking to get him down, working his way around the side, maybe looking for a potential back take, but Orpineda doing a great job staying on the feet here.
Yeah, great wrestling defense by Orpineda, who's able to stay upright. Trying to get tripped down again. Here's Delacruz. Delacruz getting almost a little bit desperate with this takedown attempt, but the Mexican able to stay upright for the time being. 2 minutes down here in round number 2.
Yeah, Delacruz had everything he could hope for in standing leverage positioning. He had a full body lock. He was cleared to the hip. Herman's just will to not get taken down had overtaken good technique until now.
Orpineda giving up the back here. Left hook in for Delacruz.
Yeah, that persistence finally paid off. He was very adamant about that takedown, was not going to stop. You see why now he's controlling his position thus far.
And it was good he didn't waste the energy. If he had broken away, that body lock and takedown attempt would have been for nothing. But he stuck with it now. He's in top mount. Close to a finish if he can land some consistent consecutive strikes.
Orpineda in some tough spots here, and see if Delacruz can make him pay. Trying to flatten him out now.
Oh, that forearm's under.
They're going for this rear naked choke. Looks like he's applying the necessary pressure. Can we see a tap here?
You mentioned all the attributes of Orpineda have been offensive. He needs to call upon those defensive skills now. A lot of time here for Delacruz to work.
Yeah, Orpineda has been kind of turning his chin and tucking his chin, but he's got to start to hand fight. And right here, if I'm Herman, I'm going to roll. The back take is in. At least if you roll, the weight is no longer on your lower back. It's on your partner's butt. He's trying to recover half guard. Caught in a bit of a gift wrap almost here.
Coming up here.
Yeah, immediately switching off to that side choke, but Orpineda able to induce a scramble. Now he's on top.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, what a fight.
Yeah, tremendous back and forth by both these gentlemen here.
Oh, wow, that's a good little wrap. He could hit a ninja
Looks like
choke.
he's gonna hit it.
Figure
Looks like
four-ing
he's gonna hit it.
Oh, my
Herman's gonna
goodness.
tap him. It's not going to get much worse. If Delacruz can keep circling to that lead side. Okay,
Oh,
saw
he's
Herman
able to get
sit
free.
down. Man, that was wild. Usually when those ninja chokes get figure four, that is a lock.
What a reverse of fortune that could have been, but now Delacruz steps over again to mount. Lands a couple of short left hands inside the final minute of the second round.
Oh, man, and Herman somehow finds his way to his feet.
Relentless and resilient is Herman Orpineda. Definitely down here in round number 2. Takedown again by Delacruz. And credit to Delacruz, who started this round taking a lot of punishment to that lead leg. Once he got this into the grappling world, he's really taken over.
Yeah, been able to dominate on top, staying in this, whether it's in the guard or in the half guard, being able to do enough damage here to dominate the rest of this round.
And this round more clear than the first, as Delacruz really has, you know, made his mark on the mats. What a fight.
Yep.
10 minutes in the books between these flyweights. We saw a very even first round and a much more dominant round in the second frame for Alex Delacruz. And guys, we talk about how this fight has been a case of anything you can do, I can do better, a lot of reverse of positions. Momentum is a big thing in fights, and you got to believe that the momentum is firmly in the corner of Alex Delacruz as we enter the third round.
Absolutely, yeah, you see right here at the beginning of the round, that's where that leg kick kind of disabled the bottom part of his leg, had to take a knee there for a moment. But from that point on, the momentum continuously started to shift into his favor. And as the round ended, you can see he ended in that top position. We talked about it in the previous round, that lasting impression at the end of the round on top, dominating, going into the second round judge scorecard.
But you got to believe for Herman Orpineda, who is all action, super aggressive, he is going to make the most of this opportunity to try to swing this fight back his way in the third round, and we'll see what the pace can look like, because there were times in that second round where it looked like Delacruz was maybe a little bit behind in the cardio department, but he rallied and did well. We'll see, you know, how Orpineda comes out and if he tries to put the pressure and pace on Delacruz here to start the third.
Yeah, Orpineda's best moments in both rounds have been in like the opening 30 seconds. Delacruz's corners calling for an early takedown.
Throwing that kick out there is Orpineda. Interesting to throw those kicks. Sometimes kicks can be handles for takedowns, but Orpineda confident with his kick, and he should be.
Man, that was clever. He checked that kick. He threw a lead leg to rear leg low kick. You see that in high-level Muay Thai and kickboxing, but rarely in MMA.
Yeah, you can tell Delacruz doesn't have the most experience checking kicks. He's just kind of trying to ride the momentum of him. That one lands heavy there. You see the leg buckle.
A la Jose Aldo.
I mean, Orpineda is a Mexican lumberjack at this point.
I mean, just, yeah, chopping the tree here of Delacruz down.
We'll see if Delacruz gets desperate with a takedown attempt. And that's the other thing, too, with Orpineda throwing these kicks low, at any time he can come high and try to maybe lull Delacruz into the idea that he's only throwing low kicks and come with a big head kick.
Absolutely, yeah, selling the low the whole fight. The hands start to drop a little bit in defense.
Beautiful uppercut finds a home for Orpineda.
So you notice he kind of planted and checked that kick as he counter-punched there. Orpineda's kick awareness, both offensive and defensive, is quite strong.
There's the takedown attempt. Success.
Nicely done for Delacruz.
Yeah, Delacruz hitting that butterfly hook, but flattening out and hitting an overhook. It's just a mixture of some of the weak points from this open guard game. If you're going to overhook in MMA, it's got to be in closed guard, or no overhooks at all. Punch underhooks. Do not get flat on your back. You got to lay on your side, especially with a butterfly hook.
3 minutes left in the fight. Alex Delacruz here in top half guard.
See that little shin staple, which is something you'll see a lot from top side control. Doing from half guard can work, but man, it's challenging because the bottom man just has control of that inside leg. They can lift their hips and, you know, unlodge that bottom arm.
Orpineda hanging on to the head here, trying to get the reversal. Not quite enough there. Yeah, ends up giving up an even worse position.
Yeah, any like schoolyard headlock, head grab is often no good. You got to get your hands on the hips and create some space.
Orpineda started this round quite nicely, but now you got to believe he's got two enemies at this point. One, Delacruz, the other, the clock.
Yeah, not just a couple minutes left here to work with for him. What started off as a great round is now found himself in a similar position of the second round. Once he's hit the ground here, just really lost his momentum, starting to turn right back over to Delacruz.
Yeah, Delacruz's ground and pound was able to draw some blood out of the nose of Herman Orpineda.
Ooh, gouge in the eye there.
Yeah.
Referee saw it.
That's a
that was a very
super foul.
blatant.
Yeah.
He didn't need to do it either. There was no accident there.
No, you could clearly see
that's
a
a
thumb
point.
on the eye
Yeah.
and then the intentional lever of the thumb gouge into the eye there. Very surprising little antic there from Delacruz.
Referee checking on Herman Orpineda.
There's a lot of things I'm, as a fighter, willing to sacrifice in the cage. My vision is not one of them. I take eye pokes serious. Accidental ones are bad enough, but intentional ones, man.
Well, I mean, that's exactly it. We see accidental eye pokes time and time again in mixed martial arts. It's the nature of the game with the fingerless gloves, but the thumb in the eye, it's getting... Yeah, you're selling a bill of goods if you're going to say that's an accident.
Last night on the UFC card, there was a very nasty eye gouge, and the fight went to no contest. You know, it ruined the fight. These guys trained for so long to come and compete against each other, and moments into the fight, there's an eye poke and it goes on to
I was even thinking about that fight last night. Despite it being accidental, the guy actually had a history of doing it accidentally.
Right.
It should still be a DQ. It should. I mean, that's such a big disadvantage for the person getting poked. I've been eye poked pretty bad in fights before, and it's not the same.
I've had one pretty bad one, and it took me 3 or 4 months to fully recover from it. It's not something that you can quickly come back from.
No.
The eyes are very delicate.
Orpineda able to continue. Are we going to see a point taken away here?
See what the
no point taken away.
Hard stern warning there from Rexroad, the referee, but no point deduction. Takedown immediately there.
If Herman can get his hands together, and he's got
Working hard for it.
Herman's got to get that left forearm a little higher. There we go.
Able to get free is Delacruz. Orpineda able to kick him away. Now back on the feet. 90 seconds left in the fight. Got to believe that Orpineda is extra motivated.
Yeah, looking a little more angry here, throwing a little more on these shots for sure.
And on a takedown, deep on this.
The risk you run there, loading up on the shots, wanting to get that big KO blow or the big heavy shot to land. You often are susceptible to that big takedown.
Not to belabor the point, but guys, I'm really curious why a point wasn't taken away. The referee obviously saw it. It looked intentional. I mean,
yeah, we did see a stern warning, but that's something that's very.
That warning comes in the rules meeting.
Right. Yeah, you get that. You get that first
for something like that. Yeah.
They do tell you this is your first warning. Right?
In this close of a fight as well, you know.
It could be the deciding factor.
Absolutely.
There, you know?
And sometimes I think that's maybe why referees don't necessarily take away the point.
Yeah, pretty close fight thus far, all the way here to this 30 seconds left in the third round here. That definitely could have been a pivotal moment there if a point deduction had been given.
We fight on. Final 20 seconds left in the fight. Alex Delacruz on top of Herman Orpineda.
Yeah, working now into the full mount, trying to get some elbows here. This last 10 seconds, trying to get that maybe last edge in the judge's eyes.
We go 15 minutes. Great flyweight fight between Alex Delacruz and Herman Orpineda. Be interesting to maybe see what went through the mind of Delacruz. Maybe there were some extracurriculars that we weren't privy to that caused him to be frustrated. I'm not sure.
That's always something that's potentially part of the fight game. You never know what type of banter there could have been between these guys back and forth or at the weigh-ins, that type of thing. Could have been some extra motivation there. Nonetheless, still, illegal foul. The fight, fortunately, was able to continue on, and now we're going to see what these judges have to say about it.
The leg attack on display for Herman Orpineda. That was on point. Nice uppercut there to boot. But it was the takedown here of Alex Delacruz that got this fight to his world.
Yeah, seemed to be a lot of the story there. There'd be some great stand-up. Orpineda's great being able to get the pace going, but once they kind of settled into the round, the takedowns take over.
I don't like going back to it, but, you know, the eye gouge, intentional or unintentional or otherwise, it takes away from what was a really great back-and-forth fight.
Absolutely, yeah. Having to stop the action there, having to kind of kill everything.
Right.
Doctor's got to come in and make sure everything's okay. Yeah, we may have been robbed from a few different interactions there that could have potentially swayed the fight a little bit more in one guy's favor or the other, but what was a great close fight to open us up here.
Nice sign of respect there as the two men embrace in the center of the cage. All right, the judges have tallied their 10s and 9s, and for our official decision, we're going to Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by OnlyFans. Judge Ryan Thompson scores the fight 29-28, Orpineda. Judge Chance Williams scores the fight 29-28, Delacruz. And Judge Danielle Guevara scores the fight 29-28, declaring her winner by split decision, Alex the Boss Delacruz.
Alex Delacruz getting the nod. Split decision victory goes his way as he pushes his record to 3-1. Split decision, little
All right, everyone,
controversy.
I'm here with winner Alex Delacruz. Alex, opening fight of this awesome fight card. Already a contender for fight of the night. That was a dog fight. Tell us, how are you feeling right now?
I feel great, man. You know, last fight didn't go my way. I put a lot of work into this fight camp, changed a lot, worked mentally a lot, and you know, it's good to get the dub. It's good to be on the right side of the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-1 now as a professional. Fury's flyweight division is arguably its deepest division. Is there anyone you'd like to fight next? What do you want next out of Fury?
I just want to climb those rankings, man. Hopefully get a bout title by the time I'm out of here. I just want to keep working hard, man. Whoever I fight next, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna fucking come hard. That's just what it is.
Well, man, congratulations on the victory. Can't wait to see you fight again. Your winner, Alex Delacruz.
Alex Delacruz getting it done tonight, kicking off Fury Challenger Series 11 with a phenomenal fight. We'll see where it ranks in the short list of fight of the night. But as I was mentioning, split decision, maybe a little bit of controversy. I wouldn't hate it if they run it back.
No, not at all. I'd love to see that one again. Very entertaining fight.